Hello everyone, thank you so much for choosing to watch this clip where I speak to the incredible Paul Gorst of the Liverpool Echo. We discuss the future of Liverpool's left-back position. Will it be Andy Robertson? Will it be Kostas Tsimikas? Or will we go and sign Milos Kerkez or maybe even Joel Harto? We discuss that, what Arne Slot wants from his left-back and a little bit more right here. And if you want to get more content, head to redmenplus.com, use the code JOURNO to sign up as a Captain monthly subscriber and you'll get a month for free. What's not to love? Take it easy. I'll see you soon. It feels as though something new is afoot when it comes to the left backs as well a little bit. Now, who the end game is in this is a different question. I don't know what scenario it is, whether it's Robertson or Tsimikas. People may have their own judgments on that, but it definitely feels as though, and again, Paul Joyce's update nods to the fact that Liverpool are definitely in the market for this position.
Yeah, I mean, what is it now? 5 years of Kostas Tsimikas. Andy Robertson maybe sort of lost the yard here or there this season with a couple of high-profile mistakes, and I think at times it's been a little bit harsh on Robertson, whose form has picked up in recent weeks. But he's played a lot of football, over 300 of them for Liverpool, over 600 professional games, and given that type of style that he is as a sort of rampaging left back, it's a lot of ground covered during those 600 plus games. So maybe that explains the little yard of pace that he might have lost, or just sort of one or two mistakes creeping into his game. And you can understand why Liverpool might be looking for a longer term option at left back. We've spoken about this a lot, haven't we? And whenever I've seen Kerkez, he looks good, to be fair. I've only seen him once live, but probably not the one to judge him because Mo Salah scores one of his best goals of the season against them. But he was aggressive. He was tenacious. He gets up and down. I've seen him a few times put in some brilliant crosses down that left flank, and he does seem as though he's a young player with massive upside. So I think that would be one to watch. I haven't seen Joel Harto too much. I didn't actually think he was left side. Is he just left side? Is he? Or
he's a converted left-sided centre back who now pretty much exclusively plays as a left back. To be honest with you, for Ajax, but there was a lot of what is he when we first got linked a good few months ago now, and obviously he's a player that Arne Slot will know well, given his Eredivisie links. The time he spent there, clearly more Dutch connection too, full stop, with Van Dijk, Gravenberch, etc., Gakpo. But yeah, I do think the sort of, again, the profile and the stylistic fit is an interesting one. It kind of comes back to the centre forward chat again, because we don't really know what he wants from his left back in the same way we don't know what he wants from his centre forward. Like, does he want this marauding up and down, or does he want Joel Harto as much as he does now play left back? Almost, that's it.
He's got the centre back credentials.
He's still got a little bit of centre back stuff going on, like Calafiori, Arsenal, you know what I mean? So that's another conversation. Yeah,
I mean, I think that's been one of the most interesting things of Liverpool's shift under Slot, has been the sort of more orthodox fullback role. For years, wasn't it? It was Alexander-Arnold and Robertson being the sort of forwards number 4 and 5, really, racking up double figures for assists, and then we saw Trent do the midfield thing for a year or so. So this season it's been very much more traditional meat and two veg full-back positions, get your tackles in, get your blocks in, and feed it to the midfielders. Obviously Trent, probably a little bit different kettle of fish because of how unique he is and how special he is with the ball at his feet, but certainly Robertson, I don't think he's had an assist this season, Robertson, and not necessarily for the lack of trying, but it's because his game has been a little bit more refined in terms of doesn't have to be heading past the wing with underlapping runs, overlapping runs. So I think there is a conversation there where you're suggesting what Slot want from his fullbacks as well, because while Trent has done some breathtaking things this season, some incredible passes, got on a score sheet a couple of times, he is not the creative fulcrum that he once was last year under Jurgen Klopp, or in the last 3 or 4 years. So I think that has been a little bit of a tweaking system as well, which means that when you are recruiting for those roles, the sort of requirements change a bit, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because it's interesting, because if we were absolutely dead set and certain in our minds that Arne Slot wanted what Andy Robertson has been, and some may argue still is in certain games, I do think he's had some better games of late, you'd probably go for Kerkez. But if it's a different type of left back, you'd probably look at Joel Harto. And for talking to Miguel Gutierrez, who obviously come up against for Girona's named him as well. Reynate Nori is another one who's been sort of frequently suggested as an option for us. Just on the right back thing, you mentioned it ever so briefly there. Obviously, there's so much hinges on Trent's contract. I'm not going to delve back into that conversation. But with Conor Bradley now, he is, that meat and two veg, very conventional, very good up and down right back, which may well be what Arne Slot likes, what he wants. But I do think, if Trent was to leave this summer, let's live in that world momentarily. Conor Bradley, as good as he is, and as much as I like him, there is more concern around his injury record now, I think it's fair to say. For somebody who hasn't amassed a lot of minutes yet, he's had quite a lot of time sidelined. Is that fair?
I think so, yeah. He's had a few muscle injuries, hasn't he? It's because of how athletic he is and how much he sort of gets up and down the pitch that inevitably these issues happen. I don't know whether it's because he's still young. Steven Gerrard had a fair few injuries in his younger days, didn't he? And he was very explosive and, over the first 5 yards, very tenacious and not too dissimilar to the way Bradley plays in that way. So, that could be why. But, yeah, it's certainly one to keep an eye on because he hasn't got an impeccable injury history. No. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Listen, he might build up that robustness, and he might just be growing into his body, as you say, and getting used to the rigours and the strains. Although he had a very good year on loan down in League One near Bolton, and that was pretty injury free as far as I can remember. So, yeah, let's wait and see what happens on that one. And just to round off on the left back stuff, though, again, it does feel as though something could definitely happen there. Maybe one out, one in. That's probably a fair way of putting it.
Yeah, possibly. We'll see what happens with. Tsimikas. I can't see where Robertson goes.
Do you think this could be it for Costas, though?
Yeah, possibly. It's been here 5 years, been a really good servant for Liverpool. But, if Liverpool are looking to upgrade their first choice left back, I think it might be Costas Tsimikas making way. And, we're not going to stick around as a sort of plan C.
You wouldn't have thought so. No, you wouldn't have thought. I like Costas a lot and, have a lot of admiration for him and the fact he's been willing to stick around so much and be the understudy, because that's what he's been. There was times this year whereby it was a bit of a flip of a coin as to who played and who was in the best form and who was the first choice. But I think Andy Robertson's kind of wrestled that back recently too. He started every game up until the Newcastle game for a little brief period there. But yeah, I do think Costas just needs to go and be a first choice left back somewhere, personally.